All right. Next, I want to welcome Flo Ankah. I actually met Flo because we went hiking a few times in Montana in between Theta healing classes, becoming teachers for Plains 2. Sorry, not Plains 2, just Plains.
Maybe Plains 1, yeah,
Plains
but Plains
1.
1, Plains 2, it's all part of the same consciousness. Yeah, Montana is beautiful.
It is. But you're very talented because I mean you are a Theta healing instructor. You're also an amazing actress. You do comedy, you sing jazz. Tell us a little bit about all the amazing things that you do besides being a healer. And
Yeah, well,
yeah.
thank you. In a way it's embarrassing, and then at the same time we have to assert ourselves, and like this is kind of like some of the choices that I've made in my life. And certainly, I started Theta Healing in 2005, 2000. So it really has opened my mind that anything is possible. And the life that I have now, in a way, it's the life that I created, with its lacks and its strengths. So when we go back to the essence of the basic DNA class, there is this first thing that we say is that we have a birthright to ask for a healing. But I think really what it means is that we are incarnated, so we get to be creative. And so for me, my heart, my interest has always been to be an artist, to share the knowledge, to distill an experience, to give people an experience so that they can have transformation. So a lot of the belief work that I've done on myself has to do with making progress with my artistic output. And so Theta Healing has been there hugging me the whole time. So sure, it has grown much bigger for me that I had envisioned, but I had this experience with the music as well. I was 17 years old and I was taking some dance classes, and I thought to myself, there was more to me, right? So I thought I'm going to be an actress. And then I did my visa for staying in the United States as an actress, because I thought to myself, if this is what I came to do in the world, I have to be assertive. I have to say this is what I want to do, but I couldn't speak English. So then I got my visa for acting, but there was really not an opportunity for me to do any work. But the immigration that said that I was a talented actress. So I was like, I believe them. I proved through the paperwork that this is what I came here to do. And so then I thought to myself, well, if I cannot get any work, I guess I'm going to sing. I'm going to sing, and I'm going to be in all the French restaurants in New York City, and everyone's going to know me, so that I'm going to get a job as an actress. And so you see, this is my motivation, was for this like obstination that I had when I had nothing to offer really as an actor at that time, or I didn't let in because I didn't think I was worthy of it. And so the music opened up a lot more. Like, I have next month this performance at Joe's Pub at the Public Theater. The first show I had there was in 2012. So it blew up much bigger than what I had asked for. So the same thing with Theta Healing, I didn't imagine that I remember doing sessions with my teacher, Eric Brimmett, and he was doing like belief work on me. And it's like, you're afraid to teach advanced DNA. And in my head, I was conscious brain. I was like, no, not at all. I'm fine. But the truth is, I was super shy because I was like, my goodness, this is a spiritual awakening for the students. Who am I to offer such a deep, experience? And, of course, then everything opened up, but I would never imagine that I become like a trusted person to accompany the French educators to connect and bond as a community. So I think sometimes we focus on a particular manifestation and something else opens up. But at the end of the day, with what you were saying, it has to do with creativity. So we think it's healing, but it's actually more like, what are you into? Vianam, our teacher, right, talks about it. She says, somebody might be interested in working on their financial abundance. They want prosperity. And then it's like, oops, we healed the cancer. So it doesn't matter which way you look at it. If you're going to work on yourself and explore consciousness, you're going to have results, bigger than what you expected, because sometimes we're a little bit shy to see what we're actually capable of. If I realized what I would accomplish, like, you know, I'm 40 years old, right? If I realize this is what is in the books for you, I would have just gone back to France and live on the farm and make some babies, because it would have been too scary. What do you mean? It's like a philosopher of healing and creativity. What that's crazy. I would have been scared. So we only get to know the abundance we're ready for, and then it's just a matter of kind of like tuning into our heart and be like, I like these people. I'm really curious about that. I want to take a class, and then this curiosity, and if something feels right, it's a good sign that it's not a bad idea. Just trust yourself.
Absolutely. And I love that you're the point that you're bringing up, that we think that we want one thing, or we ask for one thing. Because this came up yesterday, that when you're asking for one thing in your life, like, this is my goal, and the universe is like, how about this over here? And it's even better and more than you ever thought. So I know for me, I've had times where I didn't want to let go of the thing that I wanted. So what do you say to people who are mad that they're not getting what they want in their manifestations?
I mean, I love it because I think it's good to have a scientifical brain, right? It's good to be like, listen, I want to be realistic about this. I'm putting some energy. I should get some results. So I cherish the side of us that wants validation. But I think that as we grow, the way we count, we level, we have an experience of alignment or truth is going to change. So I think it's because our mind opens, then we are able to perceive a different thing. So when we do theta healing, it's always going to be the question of, how is this serving you? There might be a little thing in our brain that says it's better to not have this. Like if I look at some crazy, I'm performing on stage, and there is a play I'd like to direct, right? I took some steps in order to obtain the rights, so I am allowed to present this work on the stage. And so if I look at, okay, it hasn't happened in the last 2 years, but I took a lot of action towards this. It's like, how is this information impacting me? Is this making me frustrated? Is it just because actually a blessing? Because I really want to be in a different kind of energy, a different financial ease, that I want to be a little bit more embraced in my artistic profile, instead of like feeling that I'm still proving that I belong. So it's like, what's my beliefs around this? So I feel like sometimes the way that we explore validation, it's a little skewed by the perspective of our own beliefs. So the more I give myself permission to trust that things come exactly in the right time, one of my collaborators might still be in college. The person that is perfect for this work, they might be busy doing some Hollywood movie. Now there's a strike, but they're perfect. And just there is a meeting that I have with them, and it takes a completely, we don't know the timing. So that's why it's like really connecting, trusting, getting out of our own way, right? So the more I have acceptance that it's already perfect, and that as I work on myself, things are going to open up. There is one of the course. So with Theta Healing, we know we have this the initial training, the foundational training, basic DNA, advanced DNA, dig deeper, you and the creator. But there is a course that's called You and Your Inner Circle. And I love how Vaina, our teacher, mentions it. She says, it's good to manifest, and we're going to manifest, I promise. We're going to look at everything we're creating and really like place an order with the universe, right? The same as if you're in a restaurant and you say, I'd like a mushroom pizza, you expect that it's going to come. So we're going to use our connection, our meditation, our consciousness to invite the stuff that you're currently, curious about. But I love it that in this class, you and your inner circle, Vaina says, you arrange the people around you in your life, and then you leave your manifestation in creators' capable hands. Right? It's this detachment, you can say, and so it is, or amen, or inshallah, whatever it is. Like, it's just, you ask for it. And the truth is, sometimes we're a little confused because we're like, in our brain, I'm like, this is what I want. But actually, the heart is being heard. So if I say, yeah, I want bigger number with my company, I want to teach more students at the same time, and my heart might be like, yo, Flo, you need a vacation. You need to get your affairs in order so you can really have the space to be creative with your music. Well, then the universe is going to give me what my heart needs. And so maybe I'm not really paying attention to what my heart needs. So don't worry, the universe has your back. It's actually listening to you, even if you're not. And you're like, oh, I want to. Everything is being provided in the right time.
That's
So we
beautiful.
can leave our manifestation in creators' capable hands, right? I love this.
I really love what you said about, like, manifesting the right people in your life too. Because there's a lot of entrepreneurs that are going to be watching this. We always feel, especially solo entrepreneurs, we feel like we have to do it all ourselves. But just that we get so much further and we create so much, we manifest so much more when we have the right kind of support.
Yeah. I mean, listen, the good news is that we have a brain. So don't worry, you're always going to have a subconscious protecting you. You're going to always be able to make decisions. Nobody's going to take your free will away, right? So if I look at my own path as a business owner, so I love technique. I love knowing how things work. I am beyond in terms of perfectionism. Like, I work on myself, don't worry. But I like things to be beautiful. I used to have the belief, my work is my art, my company is my art. Everything has to be standards of, like, I'm not Stanley Kubrick, but I'm a little bit gone. Like, even with the words, my perfectionism with how things are written. So I'm aware of it. I don't think it's a strength. I think it's something that I'm to have to deal with because it's, I'm an artist. What am I going to do? I'm not going to become sloppy. It's just, it's okay. I have acceptance of who I am. This is my essence. I like it to be just right in a way, So if I go back to the way that I grow in my business and stuff, I like to understand things. So do I need to understand everything in order to lead a team? Probably not. But I can say in the last year, I tried a lot of different collaborations. There's some people like I, work extremely well with my web designer. With just I open my mouth and he can understands my brain. I'm just like, oh my God, it's amazing. There's things that sometimes I'm so fast, so I'm not really communicating with, when I need specific tasks done in a timely manner. I'm not good at setting deadlines. So it's okay that I'm curious about learning because I'm learning the lessons, I'm learning the abilities, I'm learning the communication skills that is not in my educational background. I didn't study business, right? I didn't study I studied how to heal. You have a problem, this stuff, stop. But the way it works is, if you're leading a company with 40, 80 people that are working with you, it's a different kind of skill set. So it's okay that it takes a minute to learn how to delegate. It's okay to know that we're capable and we're strong. So this is the brain learning that, it's a part of the ego, that in the positive ego, like, it's amazing to know that we're capable. It's amazing to know, that I deserve a space in this conversation. I would like to speak. But then at the end of the day, it's going to be more the soul, the higher self, that's going to, become more seasoned, that I know when and how it's my place to talk. that I know when and how. And so what's happening to me personally, because I can only speak about my experience, is that I used to slow things down because I wanted to make sure it was safe for me, or maybe it was the right people that, and I learned a lot in the process. But what I'm seeing now, what I'm experiencing, and I can't really control it, is that just things are going a lot faster than I know. And so it's like, okay, well, in terms of theta healing, maybe there's a little bit of a case of the divine timing is hitting, right? So there's no, I mean, I can resist, but it's still going to move forward. So, the experience that I'm getting, I'm going through, it's not that I asked for it. It's not that, my soul is learning to live without having to cling onto the control. There's no way I can control because there's too much stuff going on. So, okay, I'm learning trust in what? Myself, the universe, I don't know. Don't worry, I'm having a human experience. I'm going to do the best I can. But that's what it is, right? So it's okay to want the satisfaction that we're excelling at what we do. It's okay to want proper technique. It's okay. Listen, you could read a lot of book about business. It's okay. The stuff is well organized and properly explained and delegatable, so that you can move. If you want to scale at some point, you're going to have some really great things in place. And so maybe the collaborators you have, they don't have the vision that you have. So trust yourself. You're great. You make great. That's why you have a brain to make awesome decisions. And your soul is going to guide you to have the best, growth in your business at, however, perfectly the right time. So in the beginning of COVID, I had this new collaboration with, website for my healing business. And I wanted the website done like 5 years ago. I was so impatient. I had no tolerance and compassion. I couldn't communicate my vision because I wanted it done. And it's just, we're arriving this beautiful experience where I have so much more understanding of the product that I offer, the service. We're just starting to put the blog online with this testimonials. It took me literally a year and a half, you guys, I'm crazy, to choose 8 photographs of my students in the middle of class to put on top of the testimonials. But you know what? It doesn't matter, because the point is it's perfectly the right time. So I think as an entrepreneur or a business owner, give yourself a little grace, right? It's you get to choose how you have it. Maybe that's probably why you're a business owner, because you like things done your own way. So this is the promise, right? By not working for someone, by being an entrepreneur and deciding this is what I'm into, this is what I think I have to offer the world. And if it takes 10 years to be the level that we want it to be, so be it. I mean, is this an awesome time? Do you like the people that you discover? Like, there's no judgment. So again, I'm using these words, but with my energy, what am I saying? That you don't need the validation of the results. The more you trust that you're already surrounded, that the right people, the right information come exactly in the right time. Well, you came here for a human experience. Are you having a good time? Right? I mean, a little bit. You see, if I look at myself, if I do a reading, intuitive or conscious, it doesn't matter. If I'm honest and humble, I have a little bit of a case of an addiction. I work a lot, so maybe the belief work, if I work on myself, is like giving myself a little bit of space more for personal life. How about a little more space for my writing, right? My show is coming up. So, I pay attention, and then I make choices so that I have a life that's my own. But you can decide. You have a brain. It's cool.
Yeah. That is amazing. Thank you so much for sharing everything. I also just want to say, if you ever want to work with Flo, one thing I love about her is the ease and the grace, especially as a teacher. It's just like, it's so easy. You're just a sigh of relief to work with. So,
Oh, thank you.
Going to give that compliment out. But I'm also going to turn the floor over. So if you want to lead us through that manifestation.
Well, first, I think,
Sure.
thank you,
Yeah.
Daval. I see the little emoji. It's cool to see faces, you know, because so much time we're like recording things and it's like, you know, you feel like you're, you know, sometimes you don't see. I really love, I wanted to ask, like, is there specific questions that you have because of your particular situation, or, you know, anything that's useful?
And do you want them just to write in the chat or to unmute?
Well, you know, I'm listening. I'm looking at them like, you know, I could feel like, Anya, you're really looking for something to ask.
Yeah, I love the word you said, no validation needed to be trust, to trust yourself, no validation. Because I think my problem is always want validation.
Yeah. And, you know, it's like, if I go back, validation, we talked about it a little bit, but if I go back to this notion of trust, it's not just because it's a virtue that's cool to have, that's on the, you know, there's a bunch of cards about virtues. I have to be a super awesome spiritual person, so I gotta have all these virtues. To know that trusting is a good thing, it doesn't mean that now you're gonna trust everything. I mean, if you asked for a decaf cappuccino and if you very well know that's a caffeinated cappuccino, it's okay to be like, I don't trust you, friend. I could tell that this is, you know, so you want to decide when and how to trust, that you can have good discernment, who's compatible with you, who's compatible for this experience, that you know when to say no. Right? So it's
I just talking about myself to be validated if I'm doing a good job or doing a good healing or doing on my road, I'm on my road path, or that I meant this validation.
Yeah, it's great. And you know, there is, the more we move forward with the spiritual work, you know, we can do the meditation for healing the inner child. You know, you think about it. If we were so awesome spiritual beings and we could go back in time, most likely the future you is already hugging you with like, yo, you're doing such a good job. And sometimes it's so easy to be like, look at everything that's wrong with me. Like, we're so good at this. Like, oh, I want to improve for this. We forget to like encourage ourselves. So sometimes don't worry, your future self is already being like, Agnes, right path. You're really on your path. I could see you. Good job. You know, so don't forget, right, that during your dreams, that, you know, when you take a bath, you know, when you're meditating, when you're connecting, you're getting all the support that you need. So, you know, it's, and then again, you know, when you do classes, when you look for more knowledge, when you do a healing work session, you can recognize that some of these lacks from our childhood, now we can heal it. We can wrap it up so that we know what it feels like to be encouraged, so that it's not a lack, this question of validation. It's actually, and then you see, like, we can download, would you like to know the universe's perspective that we're already fulfilled, content, what it's like when we already have self-realization. Like, I had to download myself that because I was completely driven by that. I wanted to feel like, oh my God, I have arrived as a human. I'm such a great artist. And then I was like, but you see, I'm motivating myself by the lack of it. So I had to get organized with my thought to know that, you know, it could be now. What if it's already now? So that's what, when we're going to manifest now, we're going to bring all these virtues, all these sort of ascended energies, and try it on, see how it feels, see if it feels that it could already be there. Because sometimes there's stuff that our soul already has learned in past life or ancestors' life, and we think we don't have it, but we do. It's already right there. We just have to remember, oh, my ancestors are brave, they're courageous, they're kind. Okay, sometimes I forget to love myself. Maybe if I upgrade and have a little more self-love, maybe life can be a little more relaxed, right? Both my families come from farmers lineage, and so basically hard work. You know, I'm worthy of love if I work hard. I mean, I clear this every time. To be honest, when I teach the basic class, there's 4 beliefs we have to, and I'm like, this is a pandemic. Let's also clear a 5th one. I'm worthy of love. And I realized after a while, I'm adding this because I'm trying to really shift it. It's a consciousness that I'm very aware about when we forget that we're worthy of love. So I'm healing myself by sharing and I'm attracting people, that resonates with whatever it is that we have to share in common, when we share knowledge, like now, thank you, Marie, because it's like a soul family, we're connecting on more than just this Zoom 3rd plane dimension. We are multi-dimensional being. So would you like to know what it feels like to remember all of who you already are without the fear of that comes with the responsibility of your divine timing, of what your soul is here to do? Yeah, would you like to know that if it's what you're here to do, you're gonna love it? And that can be your business, and that can be your romance, and that can be having so much money in your bank account you don't know how to count. You need to hire somebody to help you figure this out. There's too much money. I know. Yeah, like let's be organized with our
I
thoughts,
thinking about my yacht.
Yeah, exactly. Somebody, and I say that when I teach the manifesting and abundance class, right? Listen, if your divine timing is to have, 2 set of states on a beautiful yacht, God is going to give you a yacht. You can't be like, no, I'm not worthy of a beautiful boat. Give me a paddle. Give me a SVU, something, no, God is going to be like, you don't understand. You need a yacht. Take the yacht. Right? I love it. There's this, I think it's in Sweden. There's a billionaire that has so much money and he's into environmental things, right? So if you have a lot of money, you have a lot of agency. Maybe you need a lot of money. He's like, hey, don't cut the forest. It's mine. He buys the forest. You can't cut it. It's his. Yeah, the earth can breathe because, he can do whatever he wants. So it's okay to have money. I think you're good souls, like you could give yourself a little bit permission to have the income. That's the basic, it's just need for your life's work. If you say, God, this is what I need, and maybe it's a really nice car, you need it for your life's work, God's going to give you a nice car. I promise. If not, you can write me an email. Be like, hey, I have a problem, creator. I asked for this convertible blue Ferrari and I don't got it. And so then we can work on it, because you should have it. If this is part of your life's work, that you have to have this blue convertible Ferrari. I was saying this in a class one time, and the student in Canada, I was just saying it as random. And then he sent me on my WhatsApp the car. I was like, oh, you're right. I could want that. It doesn't have to be convertible. I'm going to cancel that because,
35 years I met for a Porsche. Dreaming I have a Porsche. I made a 3-car garage to have a Porsche to put them in. Yet.
And to be honest, it is very spiritual to allow the material abundance, because it means that we have a little humility, that we have cleared a lot of these, I need to be poor to be close to God, or I have a vow of this and that. So it's great to let and we can help people and we can help ourselves. And what if our life's work is to live a really happy and comfortable existence? I mean, the suffering is just not helping for the lesson. So, we're going to have to get organized a little bit. So I think, you were saying, Marie, we can move forward with the manifesting. So, I'm always open, like you can be in touch, by email and everything. And I know that you probably have been on Zoom for a while. So, we're going to take a moment to visualize some of the things, and I'm going to guide you so you don't have to worry so much about it. Know that when you've manifested something, it's already, you place the order. So you don't need to check in all the time and say, I want it. See, if I say I want a Broadway show, and every day I was like, but I want it. but I want it. Creator, you understand, I need it, I want it. You see that I'm more in this energy of lack. So you could just know that whatever was envisioned, it's already something that you're receiving. If you're able to see it with all your senses, that means it's already being created for you, so you can relax about it. And you can always have like a little notebook where you have a relationship with what you're creating. It's not a to-do list for Flo, it's a to-do list for God. So you just know that there you have the personal assistant. He said this, I need this, I need this, and you're going to take action. Like coming here, Mary, organize this. Are you taking action? Abundance. You're taking action, you know, to make progress for directing display. You're taking action towards your learning so that you can clear even more blocks. So it doesn't mean that you're going to be lazy because it's so easy, but the more you tap into the energy of what's meant for you and your divine timing, everything is going to be easy, and you're not going to be able to control everything, and you're going to have so much fun and pleasure, and the people are going to be very nice, and it's going to be more than what you expected. Okay. So you can close your eyes, and unless you have something else, Mary, that you want to say before we do the guided manifestation.
No, the floor is yours.
Thank you. Well, the one thing I want to say is it's June 21st. So it is the solstice. So it is very much the perfect time to tune into what it is that is being created. And we're really inviting all the work you've done today on these past couple of days. It's prepared you for being open to receiving. So don't be shy. Don't be shy to allow seeing beyond the reason, right? Because at the end of the day, it's just to put things in motion. You might find out that what's there for you is a little bit more than what you asked for, and that's okay. We're just giving you the reach that you know that it's okay that things are in motion. Okay? So the person who asked for the blue Ferrari might end up with the boat. Heh, no problem. Take the yacht. Signed, Mary. Okay, cool. I love it. Thank you for sharing your vision board. And it's having a relationship, right, with the divine timing, a relationship with the manifestation. So some of the stuff I wanted, I'm like, oof, not even fun anymore. And you can upgrade your thinking as you find out what really gives you this in your heart. When you find this energy, it's a good sign that there's so much more for you. So we're going to close our eyes and have a couple of breaths to just take notice of how you feel present, what's happening in your body, in your mind, and really slow down your consciousness. You can visualize your consciousness really anchored in your heart chakra. The heart is pretty much where we can read the soul. So all of who you are, all of who you have ever been or ever will be, it's accessible right here. So imagine visualizing itself into through the different layers of crust of the planet into the center of the earth. You can remember this unconditional love from Mother Earth. You feel nurtured, loved, cherished every single day. And you remember that you have this birthright to create. You were entrusted that because you're a fancy being and you're incarnated and you get to play. So let's do it. Can you imagine bringing this beautiful light through the sole of your feet, your ankles, your knees, your pelvis, every single vertebra. Entire nervous system is being filled with this unconditional love from the earth. Your shoulders are relaxed. Your throat chakra is open. You know how to say, this is what I want. And you continue to ascend, and you see a beautiful ball of light on top of your head. And let this ball of light, as if you are inside of it, in expansion to the atmosphere. Imagine traveling at the speed of light effortlessly. Consciousness is so light and cool. So you just have to let it fly. And then you imagine being in the solar system. The entire solar system is traveling. The sun is moving. We're moving together. We're all floating in space together. And you can imagine going through different layers of light and darkness. Imagine crossing the different galaxies like in a sci-fi movie. You can find this golden light of the sacred. It's actually where your soul is. So your vibration is much more comfortable when you're connected there. Because sometimes the body, it feels limited, but here your spirit is so unlimited. And in this plane of angels and ascended masters, where your soul is, you can create with your thoughts. Not very different from on the earth. We just have to remember how to do it. So continue going through the different lights. So you can imagine that the light is basically a rainbow. There's different shapes, and you choose this beautiful pink energy of compassion, as if you were being hugged by the pink light filled with unconditional love. You imagine transforming into a jelly-like substance. And then you let a beautiful, bright white light, iridescent. And that's pretty much the divine. And the truth is, we're always connected, but because we used our consciousness, we remember deeper. We are opening all of our intuitive senses to the fact that we're completely connected. And inside your heart, inside your mind's eyes, you're going to make the command, creator of all that is, it is requested that my manifestation is in my life now. Creator, show me. Thank you. It is done. It is done. It is done. You make a clear intention. You co-create, like a mother telling her son with plenty of unconditional love, clean your bedroom. There's no question whether or not it's coming. You ask for it, it will be provided. So you're going to imagine your life where money is no object. And imagine where you live. And we are talking sci-fi / cartoon. You can imagine whatever you like. What you really want that feels possible for you. So imagine the space where you live and the people that are in your life. If you like people, if you want to be by yourself, you can be all by yourself. But if you have someone who loves you unconditionally, let's put them in there. If you want to have a quality relationship with some members of your family, imagine that it's there. You can work out the details later. So take a moment to notice, what is it that you do? What's the thing that makes you super satisfied to be you? Is it something you do for others? Is this a job? You don't have to have a job in this manifestation, but just notice what makes you proud. And then imagine that you already have that. Imagine that you have all the spiritual virtues that are needed for your life's path. So imagine you already have compassion for yourself. You already have courage to make the next step. Let's just say, to get rid of the problems, that you have forgiveness to anyone who needs it, who doesn't need to be in your brain at this moment. Let's just forgive them and let go of the attachment or the heaviness that it was. And you can work out the details later, but just say that you have a lot more freedom and space. So you have compassion, kindness toward yourself. How do you see, you can imagine your abundance. What does it feel and look like for you? You can imagine your relationship with your bank account, your investment, your salary, or the money that people pay you when they receive services from you, or objects that you created or things you sell. Imagine their eyes and the gratitude that they have for you, for you providing this work, or for you being yourself. You can imagine your personal time, right? Imagine that you can be completely detached from obligations and the heaviness that sometimes comes with this earthly life, or some of the circumstances that are in our way now, but that somehow there are an opportunity to learn some really cool stuff and to make us really awesome beings. So let's just relax about these things, but let's take a moment to allow ourselves to have a personal relationship with ourselves. Does it mean we read more? Let's imagine that we're really good with our nutrition, with our physical exercise, that we sleep exactly the amount that is right for our body to regenerate itself. Let's imagine we have amazing vitality, that we can actually have fun and play with friends, right? If there's any wounds from the childhood that we were always on guard and lack of safety, let's cancel that. Let's release and bring instead that it's possible to play and that we're safe to play. And let's teach ourselves that we can have amazing friendships, amazing partnerships, amazing romance, right? Let's teach ourselves to feel and be loved. So you can ask, now that you're connected, is there anything that I need for my divine timing, that I need for my life's path, that would be good to also ask for? Take a moment to recognize what it is. And then, just like that, imagine that it's already in your life. It might be an amazing wardrobe. It might be more money for investing on the porch for the 5th car. It doesn't matter what it is. If you need it, you can tell the universe that you also would like that. It might be a grant for helping people in a different country that you're passionate about. It might be a healing on your relationship with your mom. But whatever it is, you can imagine and witness that you get complete support. So imagine your heart being filled with love, because it's its job to hold the love, to be the love. And nobody said that being a human is supposed to be suffering. Being human is about being. And you set the tone, you set the standard of what that experience is like for you and the people around you. You can be an inspiration. But when you hold self-love and love in your heart, it's going to be all right. So imagine going back up to the creator. Imagine rinsing your energy. So it's super cool, because anything that you witness, or when you want to, as somebody who's like on a path of self-development, you want to have a good energetic hygiene. So it's good to allow yourself to always rinse from this energy of 7th plane, of creation, of source, whatever you want to call it. Get a little chi and then come back in your. All right, and now You asked for the mushroom pizza and it's coming. You don't need to on what the chef is doing, or is the waiter think is going to be 5 or 15 minutes. It's in the making. Whatever you were able to witness, it's under control. The universe has got your back. So now your job is to take action in the direction of what you're asking for and to allow receiving. Okay? That's a deal. Thank you so much, Mary, for creating this space for us.
Yeah, my pleasure.